Here's my thought on the offense. On a night like tonight, I think it would have hurt, burned, whatever term you'd like to use, a lot more if it felt like the Reds deserved to score. And I really don't think that it felt like they deserved to score. There wasn't any moments in this game where it felt like, oh, this guy made a diving catch here and that guy made a diving play here, and look how many hard-hit balls we had. That wasn't the case. By the way, if you're going to say that this team wasn't clutch tonight, there was 3 chances to get a hit with a runner in scoring position, Nick. 3 chances. It's not like they stranded 14 guys and they were, 0 for 11 at the plate with runners in scoring position. That just wasn't the case. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. I know that we don't want to do that. I know we want to blame our guys. But the truth of the matter is that if the roles were reversed and we won 1-0, everyone would be talking about how fantastic of a start it was, and they'd be giving all the credit to the pitcher. So that's what I'm going to do. Kudos to Eovaldi. I don't want to make more out of this than there is, but I will ultimately say this outfield is going to have to give me something, Nick. It can't be 1 through 4, or for the most part, our infield. And maybe you could throw in Candelario if he's going to be in there from time to time from DH, or maybe if you want to add in Steer, I guess, if he's a DH. Like, it can't always be relying on those guys to get the job done. The truth of the matter is that we're getting little to no production right now from those guys out there. And Jake Fraley, the time's ticking, man. It's ticking, and it's ticking fast. I don't know what you do here. It's 1 week into the season. People are going to say we're overreacting. Maybe it is overreacting, but the issue is that we don't have time to sit around and wait when there's other guys that are available that are performing. And yeah, they're performing at AAA. I get it. But the truth of the matter is that we've got to take our chance at some point here, Nick, to get a little bit of pop. Because I will tell you right now, if you look at the landscape that's Major League Baseball, you'd be hard-pressed to find another outfield that's going to hit less home runs than the Reds this year. Like, is that a crazy take? Reds are going to finish dead last in home runs for their outfield.
Depends how many games Hines and Benson play.
Yeah, exactly, and those guys aren't here. So if you take those guys out of the mix, like if you ran this outfield out there every single day, and when I say this outfield, you can throw Steer in there. You can throw Lux in there if you want. You can throw Espinal in there if you want. You obviously can throw Friedel. You can throw Fraley. And you can throw Hurtubise. And you can throw Blake Dunn. There's no pop out there. None. And you see on a night like tonight, truth be told, sometimes it's just nice to get lucky and run into one and hit it over the fence and you get a run out of it. And that's what happened. That's what happened for the Rangers. And it stinks because it's something we knew heading into the offseason that we probably needed some help with. We really obviously didn't do that. And now we find ourselves in a position where we're already trying to rearrange deck chairs in the outfield to see if we can't find some production. How long do you give Fraley?
I would be a lot more patient with Jake Fraley and, a guy that's 1 for whatever. I think he's 0.67 batting average if he has some pop. But Jake Fraley has 5 home runs in his last 140 games.
Yeah. Not good.
There's just not the margin for error. Like, if this is a guy that I know can hit me 25 home runs, is an elite defender, and shout out to Jake Fraley, played really nice defense, made a great play today, throwing out a runner, made a great play on opening day of the second game, extending, but he's just not providing. There's just not the upside. So it's kind of like, what are you waiting for? And you don't lose Jake Fraley. He has options. He can get sent down to AAA. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't hesitate. I think if it was up to me, I think I'd do it tomorrow. Or I'd do it, after the game tomorrow. Send someone else on the road trip, give someone else a shot. 5 home runs in 140 games. Like, what are we waiting for? We're not waiting for some guy to go off and carry the team for a week like a lot of other players could do. I just don't see Jake Fraley doing that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I do think Fraley has shown in his career to be the best hitter of the group that we're talking about. But that's not what we're up against, right? And I've always said that, and I know that really of all guys to give someone the benefit of the doubt, you typically are the one to give somebody the benefit of the doubt more times than not based off what you've done in the past. Jake Fraley doesn't look like himself. There's no even signs of life to make you think that you have the guy that you had in 2023 and even before that in his career when he was a big league hitter. He's showing no signs of that, and it stinks. The closest sign that we got of that, and I almost wonder if it made a difference to make a decision, of how long of a leash he's going to get, is he hit a couple balls hard in Dayton. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'd be hard-pressed to think that the balls that he hit in Dayton weren't the hardest hit balls that he had, and I know someone's going to laugh about this, but those might be the hardest hit balls he's had in a year, maybe a year and a half. And listen, this team's hamstrung right now because you have Spencer Steer, who doesn't have an arm or doesn't have a shoulder, can't throw a ball. So, he is what he is. And you have some inconsistency down in AAA that you're going to have to fight through if you're going to promote Rhys Hines or you're going to promote Will Benson. You're going to go through some growing pains at times, but I'll openly just admit that I'd rather at this point, Nick, I'm with you, I'd rather go with a high floor guy and play the lottery, and maybe that's a bad move, but I'd rather go and risk some high-value proposition and go home broke than to continue to go home broke with what feels like not a very high floor. Like, if Jake Fraley's not going to be a good baseline player or consistent player, then give me the guy like Rhys Hines or Will Benson that might hit 12 home runs in 2 weeks, and then they might not hit for 3 weeks. But at least I know that there's a chance in there somewhere that you're going to get some crazy production that might actually just win you 2 or 3 games on their own. We'll see. I don't know how long they're going to keep him, but I do know that the time should be ticking, and it could be ticking very fast.
We also want to remind you that you can call or text 988 anytime, day or night. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is a place to get support for anything related to mental health. Whether it's an immediate crisis, simply wanting to find out how to connect with care, or anything in between, it's a 100% confidential, secure, and anonymous way to reach out for help when you don't know where else to turn. To connect, call or text 988 or visit mantherapy.org to get help. It's okay not to be okay.